Good morning,
Hey
everyone.
there. Good
This
morning.
is
Howdy.
Dr. Roger, Harlan Pickett, and Shanka Ponsley, and we are very excited this morning to talk about. But what if you get hit by a bus? And you might wonder, well, what does that have to do with anything here? And I can tell you, you will learn a lot today about how to couple direct primary care with a health advisor, with a broker who gets it, who understands how you can layer direct, affordable, and accessible care with like innovative solutions to what happens when you get hit by a bus. So again, Dr. Mochigamba is a primary care physician, and Harlan Pickett is a very knowledgeable healthcare policy broker. And there's really a perfect synergy that happens when you have two individuals like them who truly, from the bottom of their heart, want to improve healthcare and help people. Help people. So typically, the both of you have a lot of interaction that happens when someone asks the doctor, "What happens if I get hit by a bus?" Dr. Roger, do maybe we should start with what is a direct primary care membership and what does it typically take care of?
Great question. So, thanks, Harlan, for joining us today.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
I've known Harlan for years, ever since we started Direct Med Clinic, and it's been a great relationship. We truly are kindred spirits in our own field. So, in direct primary care, folks pay this small monthly membership to the clinic, and in exchange for that, they get unlimited visits to the doctor with no extra charge, unless we want to draw some labs or something like that. But and then they also get access to us after hours. But when we're out talking to people about this, they frequently say, "Well, what if I need a higher level of care? Or what if I, need to go to the hospital? Or what if I need a specialist or something like that?" And so that's where the healthcare continuum switches over to Harlan's expertise. And so that's why I wanted to have him join us on this little show to talk about how that works. So, Harlan, buddy, it's good to have you here and talk to us about that.
All right. Thank you so much, Roger Shankar. Appreciate you guys having me on. And it's kind of funny because that is the question. We heavily promote direct primary care. We believe that is the basis that everyone should use. It's very interesting how much we hear people talk about the weeks or months they have to wait to see their doctor, and that's a terrible situation. And we're not talking about just specialists. We're talking about your regular primary care doctor. I just talked to a gentleman this morning that said, when you change your plan, the first thing you should do is find who your new primary care doctor is, because you got a new plan, so that means your old doctor's not on it. Let's just be honest, and immediately set an appointment with that person. And the reason for that is because when you really need them later on, you won't have to wait those months to see them as a new patient. Because existing patients always get the prime slots. They still might have to wait for weeks, but maybe not for months. But the question still comes as we promote direct primary care, the silly question, but an honest question, but what if I get hit by a bus? It's those things that you're talking about, Doc. Whenever you speak with those folks, when you speak with employers, when you speak with individuals, are like, I love the concept of what you're doing, but what if, right? And it's the what if, I think, that really people fear. The what if, there's a history of cancer in my family. You can do everything in your power as a direct primary care doctor to keep them healthy, but you can't stop hereditary cancer from affecting them, or even in some cases, an environmental cancer from affecting them. It's unfortunate, but that's the truth. There are other things that can happen to folks that obviously accidents being one of them, the what if I get hit by a bus, but there are concerns. And while you don't want people to lose sleep at night because of the what ifs. And yes, that is where we come in with Eagle Care Health Solutions. We partner you with something to take care of the what ifs. We make sure that you have that what if concern taken care of. We want you to have a good sleep at night. We want you to have rest. Don't want you worried about your family because of the what ifs. And you know, a lot of those what ifs, let's be honest, a lot of those what ifs are taken care of by your direct primary care doctor. There's so many times, Doc, that you have prevented those what ifs by what y'all do in the clinic, because those folks now have a doctor that keeps them from that next what if step to take care of their diabetes, to take care of their hypothyroidism, whatever it is. You guys are helping them through that.
Yeah, that's called affordable access to care. Like, you know, we have them in the clinic and we establish a relationship to manage their chronic conditions, but we're also available to them after hours through our HIPAA compliant secure app and unlimited virtual visits. And so it's our goal to keep them out of the emergency room, hospital, urgent care. So we can do quite a bit through virtual care and telemedicine. But so Harlan, could you talk a little bit more about some of the options that you offer to folks and how that kind of works hand in hand with direct primary care?
Absolutely. We really love health shares. First of all, we think health shares are a great way for people to get off of that hamster wheel of insurance. You and I talked a little bit about it earlier. If you have a insurance policy, especially with one of the bigger insurance companies, and you think they're out for your best interest and not to make money, you're sadly mistaken. If you don't know what a health share works, if you're a member of a credit union, you're a member of something very similar to a health share. It's people that care about each other. You put your money together. You're working with a group of folks that really, through guidelines, determine how that money is paid out. And the most of the folks that we have ever had work with a health share, that I've ever referred over to health shares before we had our own, love the experience. And, you know, there's a lot of innovative things we can do with health shares nowadays. Obviously, if a traditional insurance policy is what works best for you because of some pre-existing conditions, we can help you with that too. But it's all about finding what is the best solution for you. And for many, many people, a DPC membership with a health share to back it up for the what if I get hit by a bus is a perfect marriage, and saves you so much money and headaches in the long run. Because of the exorbitant prices that you pay now for insurance to have that copay. You know, it amazes me, but the typical family of four pays $22,000 a year in insurance cost. That's just insurance. That has nothing to do with any healthcare access. $22,000 a year just to have insurance so that you can then pay $50 to go see a doctor. What? I mean, let's think about the logic of that. And then if you got to have anything done, oh my gosh, now you got to start going into that $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 deductible. Oh my goodness, what a tough situation people can find themselves in.
There are other options out there, more affordable options out there, and so that's why we do these LinkedIn Live shows, to help get the word out about these other options, because people are going without care, and it's sad to see.
It really is. And I think that's one of the things that direct primary care has brought to the forefront, is how many people are not getting the care that they need. And, you know, when we first met, Doc, your whole concept of what you were doing, I was just blown away. It was the first time I'd ever heard of direct primary care. And I know there were some folks out there, but in the San Antonio area, I mean, you're certainly one of the folks on the ground floor doing it in the San Antonio area, and your knowledge and the way that you did it has been so effective in promoting that across the country. That's why you were one of the speakers last week at the Free to Care annual conference, because folks want to talk to you and see how you've been successful here, how you've changed the health of a community around you. And it's been remarkable to see. And I think one of the coolest things is how you help people that you've actually never met in person through your virtual platform, which is incredible to me. Before, other people were talking about virtual medicine or telemedicine, you were out there on the cutting edge with your virtual platform, helping people all across the state and all across the country understand what was going on with them. So, man, kudos to you, Doc.
Well, thank you, Harlan. It's my pleasure to do it, and it just seems when I'm doing that, I'm happy. I'm in my happy state, because I just I guess I'm a innovator, entrepreneur at heart, and I do feel very strongly about this idea of providing affordable access to care, because I see how much people need it. So looks like we lost Harlan.
We lost Harlan. He got another call there. Well, I'm sure he's going to come back. Dr.
Yeah.
Roger, when we started promoting the idea of DPC, I remember we often said there's about 80 to 85% of what a person needs can be taken care by you. Would you elaborate on that? Is that still accurate? Or maybe it has increased with certain measures you have taken?
We used to talk about how through telemedicine, we could take care of, 70 or 80% of what people need. And so, yes, now direct primary care has pushed that percentage higher because we actually know our patients.
Mm-hmm.
So we can do more for them. We were just talking, Harlan, about telemedicine and virtual care, and how early on when we started, we were talking about how we could take care of like 80% of what a person would need through virtual care. In the direct primary care model, it allows us to do that so naturally and an even a higher percentage.
Mm-hmm. So there's a higher...
Go ahead, Shank.
So I was saying there's a higher percentage of the need that you can take care of at your clinic. And that is also one of the reasons why what Harlan has to offer is very affordable. Because I am actually walking the talk here. I have literally my healthcare team on this live. I have my company's healthcare team on this live, because what I have is I have the membership, the DPC membership directly with you, Dr. Roger, and not just for myself, but also for my employees. And then on top of that, I have Eagle Care Health Solutions, who has I always call it the safety net around the DPC membership. That is also, I pay for that. Me as an employer, I see so much value in offering that to my employees at a very affordable rate, and everybody's happy, And Harlan, you can certainly speak to that also. Like, you want such clients on your plans because they are generally very healthy, and when they need you, they really need you, and you're happy to be of help.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting to kind of go back what you said. We were talking about a minute ago. Part of the reason that people get more things taken care of in direct primary care is because of the extra time they're able to spend with you, Doc. They're not in and out in 5 minutes. They're okay. Yeah. Or you got 7 minutes with me. Or there was a whole time of 10 minutes, but you spent 5 minutes with the nurse with the computer putting all your stuff in. And when the doc came in, it was just pop in, pop out, and you're gone. And so you didn't get to really talk about any of the other issues going on. You guys spend that time, you take that time, and now all of a sudden you realize there's some other issues going on. And instead of referring them to somewhere else, you take care of them because it actually is within your purview to do that. It's kind of interesting to me because as a consumer of healthcare also with my family, I've seen my wife get in situations where literally she's asking her doctor about a situation and the doctor says, well, my numbers look good. What? My numbers look good? I'm not asking you about your numbers. I'm asking about this other situation. You're a doctor, aren't you? And it's not that far out of your realm, but they don't even want to talk about it. And that's a terrible situation to find yourself in. And that's once again one of the reasons why we are so big on direct primary care is because we know, like you talked about, 80% of the things, whereas a regular primary doctor's maybe around 50 now, maybe, but they want to refer you to somebody else because they don't have the time. Sometimes they do want to do it, but the insurance companies don't allow them the time to actually
Well,
go through and spend with you.
you hit the nail on the head. You know, there are a lot of my colleagues out there, but they just, because of the system, they don't have the time to do it. And they're also not financially incentivized to do it, you know. So you hit the nail on the head by bringing that up. Yeah. And it's so different with us, you know. It's in our best interest to do as much as we can for our patients in the clinic, without an outside referral. So that's what we do.
I want to talk
Yeah,
about.
and
Oh, I'm sorry, Colin. Go ahead.
I'm actually going to answer your question now, Shane. So one of the things, of course, that we do is we want to make sure that our employer groups and our individuals don't just have that safety net, but they also have the additional benefits that your company was looking for. Part of that was access to, for your employees, to mental wellness. Some folks sometimes just need someone to talk to. And so that was important to your group. Whenever we talked about it, you said, "Hey, this is what my folks want. Is they want to have someone that they can talk to. They want to have someone besides a best friend, as it were, someone who's a professional at this." And so we made sure that was part of it. And now, of course, you guys have access to the financial wellness platform that we have rolled out. And so that's all part. You know, we look at this all as a very holistic thing. You've got your physical, you've got your mental, you've got your financial. All of those pieces of that wellness are very important. And it's imperative to have all those because we all know if one of those breaks down, the other two are not far behind. And so that was very important to us to make sure that we had a very, very strong and robust platform all the way across the board. And as you can attest, I'm sure, a very affordable option also for your employees.
I really hope that that small employers and individuals are hearing what we're saying, because we're talking about affordable options and access to healthcare. Access that's affordable.
Access.
So the solutions are out there. Just feel free to reach out to Direct Med Clinic or to Harlan Eagle Care and talk. And I look at us as problem solvers. That's what a doctor does in the room with a patient. And that's what we do. And that's what our clinic does for employers. And that's what you do as well. We always talk to our clients, our patients, our employer clients, like, what can we do for you? What do you need? And then we customize our approach to them. So we're looking for the best fit, for the best solution for them, whether it's with their diabetes, blood pressure, or whatever, or providing a benefit for their employees.
Something that often always comes up, which I think we should also answer for our viewers, is the medications part, because that is something when we talk about the DPC membership, we get that question often. So, Roger, on your level, how do you handle medications, and when is the time when you need to hand it off to kind of what Harlan is offering?
That's a great question. It does come up, and we don't allow the drug reps in our office. We don't take samples, because what usually happens is they give you these samples and then you give them to your patients, and then when they run out and get them filled, they're like sticker shock, because it costs so much. And then they call back to the doc and say, "Hey doctor, this medicine was $500. Are there any other options?" So we just don't even go there. So we always use the generic medicines if possible. They still work. And then we use solutions like GoodRx, which has saved tons of money for people. So we always look for those economical solutions for their medications.
Okay, and at what point is it time for someone to speak to Harlan in terms of medications?
Yeah, so if we can't find an economical solution for their medication, then that might be a good time for them to talk to Harlan. Maybe Harlan, you can mention something around that.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because a lot of times we've dealt with people that maybe they have a full-blown insurance plan. They got a Blue Cross, they got a Humana, they got whatever, and they're still not finding affordable options. And a lot of times we'll send them to GoodRx too, Roger, because they can find a better deal on that side. Now, if they have one of our solutions, pretty much everything that we offer includes prescription drug coverage of some level, including the opportunity to find the cheapest place around you, over 200 medications at $1. We also offer overseas medication opportunities. And then within our platform, there is you can go and find out if you can get discounts. So there's a lot of discounts that are offered through coupons from the manufacturer, grants, depending on what kind of medication it is. There's a lot of options out there. And so we get you on our platform, we can find you the best option out there. And we're always looking for better deals. I mean, we're always talking to specialty medication groups. We're always talking to pharmacists, looking for the best deal. So if you have a very special circumstance, we do have channels we can go through to find you the best deal. And that's not always an easy road to cross. I mean, I agree with you, Roger, in the fact that generics in most cases work just as well as the brand name, but we know that there are times whenever there is not a generic, or there some crazy circumstances where the generic is almost as expensive as the brand name, just like we saw some of those medications at that conference we were at last week, over $100,000 a year for those generic medications, which is unbelievable. But that's where we would come into that, is when someone cannot find that generic, or they cannot find the situation, or even if they're just on one of our solutions, they automatically have access to it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think before we wrap this up, I'm very curious, because here's what I know about both of you. You are both pioneers. You are very actively involved in also driving and shaping policy and the future of what you each do in your respective fields of healthcare. And Roger, where do you see all of this going here within the next 2 to 3 years?
Yeah, I do really see direct primary care continuing to grow and establish its own position in the healthcare market. It just can't be stopped, because it's growing from a grassroots, ground up level, and its value. And when there's true value in a business or business model, it's going to make it. It's going to grow. The incentives are aligned properly. The incentive alignment starts in the room between the doctor and the patient. So it's going to continue to grow and get better as more and more people learn about it.
Harlan, what I notice in your industry is that more and more brokers become knowledgeable and also willing to embrace what I sometimes refer to alternative healthcare delivery models. Do you agree? And also, do you see part of your business, or which percentage of your business do you see being that in the future?
Yeah, that's a great question, Shankar. I think historically, insurance brokers, which I am one of those, have been hesitant to embrace new stuff because, hey, we're making good money on the old stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And quite honestly, the insurance companies pay us well. They provide us great incentives to continue with the old ways, or the traditional ways. But when you really start putting your clients ahead of your own financial well-being, you all of a sudden realize what a bad situation you're putting many of them in. And I really see the industry becoming more and more open-minded. I think one of the things is employers have to make that decision. Employers have to hold their insurance broker accountable for what they're offering to them. They have to make sure that the insurance broker is being transparent about what they're being paid and who's paying them, because the employers are the ones that are going to make the change. They're the ones that are going to force the insurance brokers to change their mind and help them to start looking, or make them start looking for alternatives, whether that's self-funded, whether that is going to go into the health share realm, where I believe it's going to really start moving a whole lot more towards health shares as people become more and more fiscally responsible for their own situation. I think that that's really going to go that direction. Now, on the direct primary care side, obviously that is going to grow, but I think one of the big things that is going to help that is more of the specialty direct care. So as more specialists come out and say, we're done with being told by insurance companies how we can practice medicine, and we know it's coming, guys, or it's already happening, as more of those step away and become partners with direct primary care and understand that thing, there's those what ifs are going to start going away. They're going to start dwindling away for Dr. Roger and the other DPCs, because the what if is not there anymore. Here, I want you to go see my friend who runs direct care with this specialty, with whatever that is. And that's going to be the difference maker. When all the doctors, because, hey, like you said, Dr. Grassroots, when the doctors say enough is enough, what are they going to do? The change has to happen at that point.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, beautiful said. And also, I always admire your candor and your honesty in how you speak about your profession. And that's the way how we can improve and change things.
Yeah, I just got to say also that I appreciate Harlan, because he mentioned kind of being an honest, a broker is supposed to work for the good of the company, and Harlan really does that. He does what's best for the company, and that kind of relates to what I said. When there's value there, that the model's going to grow. And so Harlan comes at any of his clients from the perspective like, I'm going to do what's right for the client, and then I'll have a long-term relationship with them, rather than the short-term gain. Like, well, if I go this route, well, then I'll get this kickback over here or something like that. That's not Harlan.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not Harlan. So you're in good hands.
And there's some of us out there, like our good friend Allison DePoli. She's the same way. She's going to take care of the company and make sure that they're in the best possible situation. There's some good folks out there. If you're looking for one, it doesn't have to be me, but you can reach out to me, and I'll certainly refer you to some of the good guys and good gals out there that are looking to help you.
One more thing before we wrap up. We were talking about the future and growth, and we are having some wonderful growth at Direct Med Clinic. And if there are any docs that are getting tired of the being the mouse on the doing the loop on the cartwheel, whatever they call that, the treadmill,
the hamster wheel,
hamster wheel, yeah. So let's talk. Reach out and let's talk, because there's room for another doc with us, and it's a wonderful way to practice medicine. It's
awesome,
wonderfully refreshing. And when patients are happy and doctors are happy, good things can happen. I mean, health can happen. Good health can happen. All right.
What a power pack here. I have blended in Harlan's website here, eaglecarehealth.com. Go and check that out. Reach out. Find him on LinkedIn, both Dr. Roger and Harlan Pickett, very active on LinkedIn as well. Send them messages. Ask your questions, even in the comments of when this live is over. Go and ask your questions. We'll get back to those. Follow, like, and share as always. And thank you very much for our viewers to have taken time out of your day to educate yourselves. And of course, thank you to Dr. Roger and Harlan Pickett for being available today.
Thank you, Shankar, for helping us get the word out.
Appreciate it, guys.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, y'all have a blessed day.
You too.